All right. I love that I get to smoke inside here. I haven't smoked in a house.
Really?
Probably since the last time I was here.
I just, I don't know. To me, even though I do have a terrace, I need to or else I'll quit at that point. If I can't smoke wherever I want to, it's bad enough I can't smoke in bars anymore.
Yeah, no, that does suck. I mean, because I live in a non-smoking apartment.
Oh, yeah, you do.
And that I definitely cut down a lot because I don't, I miss the cigarette while I'm getting ready, putting on my makeup and stuff like that, especially if I'm doing a full beat on my face, everything.
Yeah.
Because that could take an hour here.
Oh, I know.
Hour and a half. So, you definitely want to
I've got a smoking ritual when I get ready, and it's like cigarette, before I take a shower.
Yeah.
Do moisturize to the face, and then I sit down and have all my makeup ready, and then I have a cigarette first.
Yep.
And then I finish it. And if it's evening, getting ready to go out in the evening, there's definitely a cocktail with the cigarettes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, and then I do the face, not the lips yet, and then I have another cigarette because you don't want to ruin the lips.
No.
And then I.
Yeah, smoking is such a ritualistic kind of like it's a habit, and which is why it's so hard to quit smoking because you create all of these little things that you do and be like, this is when I have a cigarette, and then at this time, so that's the hardest part for your brain to get over. It's not the nicotine; it's the little habits that you.
It's the ritual.
Yeah,
it's the ritual.
Well, we are creatures of habit. So this is the How to Do Drugs podcast. I'm Aaliyah Janine, and you are Lainie Speiser.
I am.
Yes, publicist galore.
Publicist of all entertainment now.
Yeah.
Just entertainment.
Yeah, and entertainment.
And lifestyle.
Yeah, lifestyle and entertainment publicist.
Yes.
One of the best ones in this city.
Thank you, darling.
Branched all over the place, which is great.
It is. It is great. It is. Thank you.
You've had a lot of crazy clients that you would never think that you would have, especially representing porn stars for the majority, for the first part of your career, and then up to people like Roger Stone.
Yes, it's gone, strange direction. But I will say, Roger, much easier than porn stars. I have to admit, except for, reminding him, that you have a show in 5 minutes, blah blah, like that. But no, it was when him and I did our first tour together for his book, for his last book. I was like, what the hell am I going to talk to this guy about? Because these tours, you've been on them with me. We spend a lot of time together. Not just in the studio, but then, you have 2 hours in between, so you go and get food
or whatever,
hang out, and that's what I was, scared of. I was like, what the hell am I going to talk to Roger about? Like, me dummy with politics. I would so, how about that Obama? I don't know what to say. So, he would take me always to Del Frisco's for cheeseburgers, Kobe cheeseburgers.
Nice.
And cocktails, and no, he was totally cool to talk to.
Yeah.
He loves to kibitz. He loves to gossip, and
I'm sure.
He told me that Barbara Bush is an asshole.
Shocking.
Yes, he did say that. I was shocked that he said that. Being Republican, but no, he's equal opportunity that way. And she said she was a drunk and an asshole. And
that's hilarious. I mean, I could kind of see that, I guess, now.
The drunk part definitely resonated with me, because it's like, okay, that's why you look so much older than you do. You've probably been hitting the booze with the skin and all that stuff, especially when you're, very white, very Caucasian. Caucasians their skin can't handle alcohol.
No.
Like us, Native Americans and Sephardic Jews and stuff. Our skin can hold up to years of abuse.
A little bit more,
Yes.
Yeah, being in my 40s, I'm not mad, considering I smoking stuff.
I know. I mean, cigarettes alone is supposed to be horrible for your skin, and it is. It's terrible for your skin. But so far, I don't see the huge smoker line.
Oh yeah. I'm starting to
Davis.
see them a little bit, and you have because my grandmother, she had like the little ones, you know.
Oh, that.
But you can also but you can also get that just from like sucking on straws all the time.
You do, or smiling a lot.
Yeah,
smile lines.
Smile lines.
You know, I think I have smile lines.
I definitely have smile lines.
When I was still single and I went through this phase of dating younger guys, there was this, I think I was in my late 30s and he was like 24 or something, and he said to me, "I love your dimples." They were like my smile lines. I said, "I love your dimples," and I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Thank you. Yeah, someone tried to tell me I had dimples, and I'm like, no, those are smile lines.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Yeah.
They're not dimples.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten like fillers in here, but I never really saw that big of a difference.
I don't think you have any.
I don't really care either. That's the thing. Well, like my forehead definitely because I'm so blind, but I'm constantly squinting and stuff.
And furrowing.
So I definitely get Botox up here because that's really like that looks like a fucking one of those pudgy dogs, like a pug.
Oh yeah,
with all the wrinkles
like that. Yeah, I mean,
I have a lot of forehead, so I got.
Oh no, I got my dad was always so superficial. Even when I was 10, he's like, "Stop raising your eyebrows so much. You're gonna get wrinkles on your eyebrows." He's 10 years old and he's like, "Stop it, stop!" He kept going like this to
push it down at 10.
Yeah.
I had one of my ex-boyfriends, William. I remember. We went out to dinner once, and I was squinting a little bit, and he would always like push right there because back before I had Botox, and I've gotten filler here too. I had like really bad like 11s, I guess they're called, where that like thing there, and I never really paid attention to any of that crap at all. And then when I got into porn, that is when I really noticed like my skin and stuff.
Well,
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, HD and then the 4K, and I'm like, you can literally see Iraq has been on my face.
Yeah, that HD, man, jeez. No.
And they start out, everything. Well, let's try it in porn. And no, that's the worst place for HD. I miss the 80s where you have that soft glow and everyone looked like a fucking princess. I would have killed it in the 80s.
So many of my younger clients like grew up watching those things, and now they're in the business, and they really thought it was going to be like that.
It's not. I kind of thought it would be too, but no, you don't even really have scripts anymore because back then it was actually movies, like full-on movies
storyline
with plots and
to memorize.
It was a real big deal, and now it's just all that gonzo stuff.
It is. It's gonzo, or they just like improvise, or you know, or they'll say like the storyline. I think Brazzers does like.
Oh no, Brazzers has storylines. I've gotten a couple scripts from Brazzers.
But they're short stories. You know?
It's very short.
You know, the title says like husband comes home and meets wife and then has sex with her and her girlfriend. Something like that.
Always generic like that. And I liked, a lot of the times because it was improvised, it was fun for me. I got in trouble a lot because I was because I would always crack jokes and stuff like that.
Like what?
I can't take certain shit seriously. Like one of the movies, was mothers teaching daughters how to suck dick, maybe 6 or 13, I don't know. I did a couple of
What would you say?
There was one where I'm like, you gotta cup the balls and stroke the shit, you know? And I would say it in a funny voice because it is hilarious. How is this not hilarious? Like, dudes are like, this is hot. I'm like, this is the funniest thing. I think the funniest thing I ever said, it was actually a scene for my website. It was a girl scene, and it was like the first scene that I directed, and like it was my whole thing. Of course, would be this fucking crazy story. Whereas this woman, she was going to go get a pap smear or whatever, but I had escaped from the psych ward, and I was wearing a doctor's. And so I acted like I was her doctor.
Oh my god.
And one of the things was because I'm also supposed to be a crazy person. Right? So so her legs are up in the stirrups or whatever, and I just go in there and I put my ear up. I'm like, I think I can hear the ocean.
Oh jeez.
And it's a great scene. It's Katie
Summers. I love her.
Yeah, they had to because it's Nick. And Nick.
Sure.
Yeah. He had to cut it because they both just started cracking up.
Oh, I bet Nick was cracking up.
He's like, Jesus Christ, Aaliyah. He's like, okay, but now do it again.
Oh my God. Of course. And the thing is that it is funny, and if people do go back to really, really old oldie goldie 70s porn, like it was very shticky,
Yeah, it was
they made jokes like very like old timey, burlesque comedian type jokes, like vaudeville-ish.
Yeah. My favorite, I think, besides the Ocean one, was the very first movie I ever did. It was Mamazon.
Mamazon, I know that one.
Yes, where I never, supposedly had sex with a guy before, whatever, and I was giving him a blowjob, or like I was looking at it, I'm like, do I bite it? So they had to cut, and then they're like, okay, say it again after everyone got a good laugh.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Mamazon is a classic. It is. It's your first, but it's, I think it's something
we had a script. Yeah, it was a whole real movie. I'm like, oh, this is how porn is supposed to be.
In fact, every article I think we ever got for you, when they would say what porn movies, they always said Mamazon.
Yep.
So like, Mamazon was like, the Sex Pistols' first record or something. Like, it was like your most known movie. It was. Everyone always mentions it all the time. He did a bunch of other stuff for like 5-year career, but they always meant Amazon. You really nailed it with that
with
one.
The first one. Yeah, sometimes I do. I kill it on the first one, and I just need to end it there. I could have just ended it there. I'd probably be such a bigger name porn star.
It was like your Deep Throat. It was like that. You did one porn that everyone remembers.
Because the storyline was so ridiculous. For those who don't know,
let's go over the storyline.
The storyline was basically this tribe of women out in the middle of the Amazon, obviously. Mamazon, mammogram,
mammaries.
Mammaries, something like mammogram. Also mammogram.
Yeah.
And this group of male explorers and this doctor come to try to find this stone, because we have this stone that makes our boobs bigger.
That was the secret.
That was, and these men wanted to collect this stone to bring it back so other women could have big boobs.
And they'd make a fortune.
Yes, obviously, a shitload of money. And, we capture them because, we're tribal members.
Yeah, you kick ass,
And, and then we had sex with them a bunch, and I believe at the end, someone, I think, our queen did end up giving them the stone, which I thought was gay. I would have been no.
That would have been a great feminist movie.
Yeah, I thought that we should, kill them and maybe eat them, but they didn't want to add that to
No cannibalism.
No, I was like, all right, whatever. It would have been way cooler, porn slasher movie. Score was not having my my input.
No. Oh, I love Score though. Give it to props to Score, because they're still doing their what they do, and they do it well.
Yeah,
they do it well. But they're a great company. They're still going strong. But I think people do think it's like a feminist movie, because it is like Amazons, which everyone knows are strong, like Xeno.
And they take control of these men and they use them.
Yes, and did you do any? I'm trying to remember. You kind of dominated a little bit. I don't mean BDSM, but Amazon.
That's what we were supposed to do. Yeah, a little bit. I don't know how that. I've never seen the movie.
Have you ever seen any of your movies?
Absolutely not.
Not one?
No. Sometimes I'll watch because I'll see just to watch what I said. Because sometimes I think it's funny. Even before I started comedy, I would be like, that's hilarious. That is so funny. I can't believe dudes are jerking off to this. This is so stupid. But then once the sex stuff came, I was like, oh, no, I can't. It's like trying to listen or watch my comedy tapes. It's torture. I'm like, I have over 300 fucking audio recordings.
Wow.
I have video recordings, and then I'll just sit there and be like, I gotta listen to
You do,
and then I'll stop it and be like, okay. And then I'll go back. It's seriously
It must be hard,
torture.
No, absolutely. It must be
even with the podcast, it's difficult. Jim Norton gave me some great advice. Because he hates, all of us do. We all, for the most part, we hate having to listen to ourselves.
Right.
The fact anyone else does is amazing. But he had said through the editing process, he said count that as also part of the recording process. So he's like, train your brain to be like, this is all part of the same thing, so that way it doesn't take as long. Because it does. It takes a little bit longer when you don't want to do it.
Right,
And
right.
it's the task avoidance with ADHD. I'm like, I really don't want to do this.
Yeah, procrastinating. But as we saw this week on Facebook, you hit a anniversary milestone.
I did.
This week.
Yeah.
It was your first time on stage.
In New York,
yeah. New York.
Yeah, I count that technically as my first time, like, actually doing stand-up, where I wanted to do stand-up. Because when
you were now, like, but it is a milestone because you would quit, porn and everything, whereas before you were still
it was my first show in New York.
Yeah.
It was at Gotham. I remember. Technically 8 years in comedy. This week, for some reason, I mean, because of quarantine, I still counted as 7 because I only did a couple of park shows.
Yeah.
I'm like, does that really count? But I mean, it kind of counts, but it kind of doesn't.
I know I would probably be going back and forth, but you did do some performances. How were those park shows?
They were actually pretty fun.
Were they?
I did. I didn't mind them. Because people, they wanted something, some form of entertainment,
where they can get out of the house.
Yeah, and so a lot of them really liked it, and it was funny. People would walk by and see stuff. I loved it because I was doing my abortion jokes because this was before I knew I had cancer.
Oh boy, okay.
So still, like, I still have similar jokes. I just changed them up, to fit the fact that I don't have a uterus anymore. But yeah, like the cream pie joke, I switched that all around. But yeah, there'd be pregnant women laughing their asses off.
Sure.
Abortion jokes and stuff. Yeah, that was, I kind of miss quarantine a little bit, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I miss the freedom of being able to just do drugs whenever I want.
Oh, man. But to me, it's like all the habits I started in quarantine are still semi around.
Yeah, I don't drink as much anymore. Yeah. Like, I've learned, because that was one thing when I would go out, when we were first able to go out, just get annihilated.
Yeah.
Just get wasted for no reason.
Yeah.
It'd be Tuesday.
Look, and also, we were drinking heavily in our own home. So, like, if all you had to do was crawl, 6 feet over and
to the
just
kitchen.
pass out or whatever, and that was it. But I remember, like, timing my drinking to, like when they had the people would bang on the pots and pans.
Oh, yeah, like 7 or whatever.
Yeah, for, like, the 7 o'clock for the,
doctors and nurses.
For the doctors and nurses and ambulance people. And David, we had a terrace, and David would always go out and do that, and I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe I should stop drinking around now. It would usually be like, stop drinking and make dinner.
Make dinner.
Yeah, that was... Otherwise, I would have kept going.
Yeah, I waited until at night if I was going to drink. I didn't do a lot of day drinking.
Oh, that's good.
I definitely tried to... I mean, there was a couple of times, absolutely. But for the most part, I try to keep up some type of routine. Because I'm home, I'm an introvert normally, so I'm at home alone most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of normal for me. It was really kind of normal for me.
It was. Totally. I remember texting you, and you're like, I'm in heaven.
I'm like, I'm fine. I don't have FOMO. The only thing that sucked is that I couldn't go out to do a spot. When it first started, it was probably around, I want to say, a month in. I was like, I'm going to go. Oh, I can't go to the bar. Oh, yeah.
Right.
It was like, oh, okay, so maybe I'll just buy some alcohol. Because I never like drinking at home alone, because in Wisconsin, that means you definitely have a problem.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of people do say that.
If you're at home drinking alone, but like having a drink with dinner or, getting ready, that's something different. But when you're at home,
when you're hardcore just drinking.
That means you have a problem, but that's all anyone could do.
That is actually, during the pandemic, is the first time I ever ordered liquor to be delivered to my home. And I thought...
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's a whole other level for me with drinking, because I've never ordered alcohol ever.
I haven't. Well, because I get my bottles of wine through my grocery store.
Oh, okay, well, that's different.
Yeah,
I consider wine different also.
Yeah, it's not like oh no, I mean I got some hard liquor too, but you know I've always been kind of.
You've always drank the Chardonnay.
I like my Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, but yeah, no, I kept. The first time I ever had alcohol delivered was actually when I was in Wisconsin. I was living in Wisconsin, in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, with my now dad's wife. At the time, they were just dating, but he went on one of his vendors, and he took the car, and we kind of lived out in the middle of nowhere. She's like, let's just get some beer and cigarettes delivered and some pizza, and we'll just get wasted. Because I also was kind of going through this thing with this fucking dude. And we're like, we'll watch movies and just get hammered. I'm like, we could get alcohol delivered? Yeah, she had a fucking case of Bud Light.
Wow.
2 packs of smokes, one for her, one for me, and then we got a pizza delivered. It was a great night.
Now, cigarette delivery.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's been a couple places in Milwaukee. Yep, there was this one pizza place. It started with the Z. Zanos, I can't remember. People are going to give me shit. Anyways, but I remember specifically during one of this horrible snowstorms where I was stuck in a house with like 8 of my dude friends.
Right.
And I had my period. I was on my period. And they didn't have anything.
Oh no.
And we were stuck in this house for 3 fucking days.
Yeah, oh boy. What did you do?
A lot of toilet paper. Thank God they had a lot of toilet paper.
Oh my God.
Because I only had 2 tampons. Because we didn't think, like, we were planning on fucking leaving. And then we were snowed in for 3 days. But yeah, this pizza delivery place, it took them like 2 hours to get there. Because I think they tipped them like $100. Like we tipped an obnoxious amount of money. But they delivered cigarettes and booze to us because, like, during certain times, as long as it was between, like, I want to say, like, 6 and 9, they would deliver that kind of stuff.
That's cool. Oh, that's great. That's great. It's all about that's why we love New York. It's all about the convenience.
Yeah. It's like, if you're agoraphobic, right, is that where you never want to leave your house?
Yeah, it is agoraphobia.
You don't have to. Literally everything could be delivered. Your doctors, I have a vet that comes to the house.
Really? That's wonderful.
I
had my physical therapist here during the shutdown.
Yeah.
It was great. I didn't have to leave the house.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be really dangerous for someone like me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, shit, you can get a man delivered. I mean, you can get drugs delivered, anything. But yeah, it is funny. Like, all the stuff you can get delivered, men are still embarrassed to deliver the tampons.
Yeah,
this one stupid thing, like condoms, cocaine, all that.
All
but like tampons, like that.
Oh, it's so weird.
Still, I remember being at
men need to get more comfortable with that.
They do.
They're literally sticking their dicks in it. Like, they should know more.
Exactly. And it's not like, you're delivering like something like blood that has period blood in it.
They're not used tampons.
No, but I remember I was still working at Fox magazine, and that's when AVN's, remember Fox? You were in Fox, honey, I remember. I think that's the first time I met you, technically. It was Fox, but I was staying at the Hard Rock. We were already doing AVN at the Hard Rock. Yeah. And I miscalculated my period. I guess I got it early or late. So I called down, at breakfast, and I said, oh, can you also deliver a box of Playtex tampons?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And it took a while. And then finally this woman came, and she said, I'm sorry it took so long. None of the guys wanted to bring it up. And I said, don't you guys deliver condoms? Because I know you do. I see it.
Yeah.
And she said, yes. And I said, but tampons, no.
Yeah.
One's filled with blood and one's filled with semen.
Well, because it's their semen. Yeah. It's different. But it's also because women don't care because we know what it is. Dudes don't care about condoms because they know it.
Yeah.
I believe women are probably more embarrassed to buy condoms than they are tampons. Because, especially when I was younger, you'd be like, oh, I need to get there.
Oh, God, I used to hate buying them.
Or even just looking. I remember one time, I think I was like 18, and you don't really know, what kinds to get, and I got non-lubricated on accident.
Yeah.
Thank God I was 18, but still.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. We didn't really
need it.
We didn't need
But
anything.
still, You do need it for that latex because it was latex.
Yeah, just to put it the first entry.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep. So that's when I got my first UTI.
Wow, wow. Yeah, I used to that, and I used to also buy the sponge, the Today sponge. That was I loved, I really could relate to that sponge-worthy episode of Seinfeld because I love the sponge.
Or spermicides. Yep, have always been great. I'm like, you can come at me, I got it.
Yeah, I can keep it in for next 16 hours. Yeah. And then I can get a nasty urine infection after that.
So, you don't want to leave it. I definitely, I've changed them. But I was I'm not keeping this.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, man. But yeah, I hated it. I would definitely do the condoms thing, the old, buy a bunch of other things.
Yeah, it's things that you didn't need. Just be like, also these.
Yeah, and then also these.
Yes, thank you. And then as I got older, I'd be like, I'm fucking.
Yeah, you don't care.
And it's Trojan, and he's got a big dick.
Exactly.
I'm fucking, and he's got a big dick. Look, big dick, I got a big dick. Everybody look.
That's true. You need to get those max.
Right.
Yeah, those max. What's that called? Is that what is it called?
The triple X or
the big ones.
Magnums.
The
Magnums.
Magnums.
I
That's
don't
right.
use condoms anymore.
That's right. Well,
I've literally been sleeping with the same two people for the past 4 years.
I know, and it's hard to want to wear them when you know you can't get pregnant anyway.
I mean, especially now. Especially now. Yeah, no, and I already have HPV.
Right.
So it's herpes could be one thing.
I have it too.
That's the one thing I'm definitely a carrier for it, but I've never had an outbreak. So that's the one thing that I'm like, is it going to be now?
It can go away. My HPV went away, actually.
Yeah. There's I had the kind, most of the time it does go away. Growing up, I always thought HPV, I was like, oh, that's the worst, you see that. But then I realized, I'm like, no, there's literally hundreds of different types of HPV.
They are.
As you get older, I was like, oh, there's a lot more different kinds,
Absolutely, and I got really scared because when I found out I had HPV, and maybe a year later, I had, they saw something in my ovary. They had a leap done and all that, and I was sure I had cervical cancer or some sort of ovarian cancer, because that's what it could be.
It could cause. Well, there's HPV 16 and 18 are the ones that cause cancer.
Oh, okay. You know everything.
I had 18 or something. Well, that's only because the fucking doctor told me. I was like, oh, I didn't know. Because I was too old to get the fucking HPV vax. When I heard that, because I tried, they're like, no, you're too old.
Oh, yeah, when I found out I was already 40. And you know why it went away? Because I got married and stopped having all those dicks inside me.
Yeah, no, it does go away. I'm pretty sure I don't have it now. And she told me folic acid, for those who don't know. The folic acid supplement can help get rid of it. And then there's also a vitamin that can help with breakouts from herpes breakouts too. But it's really good for your immune system. It's it starts with the L something. Biosin, I can't say half the fucking words. So even the fucking drugs that I'm on now, I'm on new medication that I was telling you. For my ADHD. I was very honest with my psychiatrist. And he's like, well, you have addiction problems, so we probably shouldn't give you Adderall. I was like, that's literally the reason why I'm here.
Exactly.
That's the whole reason why I'm here, is that I want a full-on prescription for it, not just this little whatever. And it's Bupanol, propanol, something.
Oh, bupanol,
yeah. Half of these, I'm like, I can't even say it. That's why I like doing the drugs that I like doing, because I can fucking say marijuana.
Exactly.
Marijuana. LSD, acid,
shrooms,
cocaine. I have some fucking amazing microdoses of acid.
Really?
My buddy gave them to me. He has this girlfriend, and he wants to have babies with her. And he's like, she's a good girl to have babies with, but she doesn't like it when he does drugs.
Right.
So he gave me. I have this vape DMT pen, vape stuff that he gave me.
I've never done DMT.
Oh, I should have brought it. God damn it.
I've heard Joe Rogan talk about it.
Oh yeah, no, it's amazing. The vape pen is different than the crystals for sure. You still get the same effect, but I don't think you can have like the breakthrough that you can on the actual. I mean, unless like you actually like huff on it.
Right.
And then he gave me 2 packages of these microdoses of acid, and because I don't want to drink right now because I am trying to be responsible, even though it is technically an antidepressant. It's like it would help with your anxiety. It's like if you had depression and you are suicidal, maybe it can help with that. I'm like, well, I'm not sad now, but I never not think about killing myself. You know, like every day it's a thought. And I asked him, I'm like, because I have been trying to work on a joke about it, where I'm like, some people like feet, some people, you know, like the color blue. Some people could think about jumping in front of a train any given time. I'm like, it's just how my brain works.
I think about dying every day.
Yeah, not like differently. Like when I go to bed is when I come up with some crazy scenario.
Every night now when I go to bed, I think I could maybe not wake up tomorrow. This could be it. Especially that Ray Liotta news now. I was like, in my head, I was like, you see, that could be you.
And I've done a lot of drugs. I've done a lot of damage to my body.
You could maybe not get up tomorrow morning.
Right. I mean, that would be the way to go.
Did they say it was drugs with Ray Liotta? Do you think it was drugs?
I don't know.
They didn't say.
I don't think so. He was 67. He did have a lot of work done though. Like a lot of time, and a lot of people don't realize that can fuck up a lot of shit for you, and that could kill you, plastic surgery and stuff like that. Yeah, I wish he didn't have done.
I love him so much. You know, I used to. I actually dated a guy who was his body double. I swear to God, true story.
It's like, well, this is as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, you know, I love him so much. So I didn't know that walking in, but he did bear. He was much younger than him, but once he told me, I was like, no wonder I'm attracted to you. You know, he was a little on the shorter side with his hair and the body type. But he quit the gig. It was a great. So he wanted to do his own acting. I'm tired of being.
I did that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he died of drugs.
I hate it when they don't tell you how they died.
Right away. Normally it will come out later, but they don't tell. I mean, normally that's just so the family can grieve. I know. And I kind of get that. Like I do. I respect that 100%. But I also get, because he is, you know, certain famous people, you know, icons. Like when Prince died, or Michael Jackson, you know, those types of people, they have so many fans that, you know, when Prince died, I cried more when Prince died than I did when my great-grandmother died.
It was really, I get it.
I cried for like 3 days.
He's probably more in your life than your grandmother was.
He really was. Yeah, I had a joke. I'm like, Prince was around more than my father, which isn't true at all. But technically more around than really anybody, because you could listen to Prince whenever you wanted to, which was all of the fucking time.
Yes, absolutely.
All of the fucking time. My babysitter took me to see Purple Rain, and after that, I was in love with that little freak.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, I can see that.
I was like 8. Yeah. I was young, like 7, 8, 9.
No, you were really young, honey, because
or maybe even younger.
No, you were, because you and I are 10 years apart, and 10 years older. So that came out in 1984 or 85.
Oh, okay, so
you were like 6 years old or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I was living with my mom. I had Christine. She was the black babysitter that my mom got into a fight with, because she was the first person to ever like spank me, although I totally deserved it. And it was her daughters, Keisha and Aisha. Aisha was the first girl that I ever made out with.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were around the same age. But yeah, and I was still I was in Catholic school, so yeah, I was in like the first or second grade.
Yeah, no, you were a little girl.
Yeah, so I was like 6, 7.
That's some heavy scenes there for a little girl, sexually.
But you forget.
But they were all loving and nice.
But in the 80s, like, they didn't really care. Like, I grew up watching, I was telling what's his name last night, that my dad, I used to watch Apocalypse Now and Jacob's Ladder with my dad, you know, growing up. Pink Floyd, The Wall was my favorite movie when I was a toddler.
Wow. I mean, it's just the fact that you liked it, not that you saw not
that I just liked it, that my mother would catch me in the middle of the night watching Pink Floyd, The Wall by myself. This is also probably the reason why she thought I could be a serial killer.
Yeah, because it's heavy duty, some of those parts. It's intense. Like, all that Nazi shit and all this stuff. I mean, my thing for that age was my parents were like, you would think they were two gay guys because they had every single Broadway soundtrack album. They used to go to every musical and buy the record after.
I love that.
So we had, I should go over to my dad's house and steal it, but it's worth something.
Oh my God, all those records?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like Gigi, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I found Hair, which is,
nice. I have Hair.
And I was obsessed with it. Like, I played it all the time, and it became like my father started using it as a behavioral tool. Like, if you don't go to sleep,
you can't listen to Hair.
Oh, one time he said, I'm going to break this record right now if you don't stop it. Like, when I was being a real asshole and stuff. And I totally deserved that. And then years later, I found out that Sid Vicious's girlfriend, Nancy Spungen, I read in her mom's book, also was fixated on Hair. And the same thing, and both, like, Jewish weirdos and stuff. I was like, It starts out hippie, and then it gets dark.
And then it gets real dark.
Yeah. But The Wall is just like, I mean, when that record came out, I was 11? Yeah, I was 11 years old. And so, you were just a baby.
I was a toddler, yeah.
And
it's
a heavy record. It's a heavy record.
And then I watched it as I got older. When I was a teenager, like, let's drop acid and watch Pink Floyd The Wall. I'm like, absolutely. And I watched it.
It's still
and I knew all the parts by heart, and I didn't really understand why. And then I was like, oh yeah, I used to watch this movie all the time. Like, some people would watch Bambi. I was watching Pink Floyd's The Wall and Apocalypse Now, Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob's Ladder.
That's actually one of my other.
No, I love it, but that's another like.
That was another and The Color Purple has always been my.
Oh, I love that. I own the soundtrack.
Yeah, I still have that movie on VHS.
It's a wonderful movie.
It kind of makes sense why I've always loved like hallucinogenics, though. I think like all of those movies.
Exactly, for sure. No, you were attracted. I think you were probably chasing some sort of buzz when you were like 5. So, like.
Some type of high.
This milk ain't doing it for me.
Right. Well, I wasn't breastfed, so that makes sense.
I wasn't either.
For about 3 months. That's why we smoked. See, Freud was onto something. Because he has those psychosexual stages of development, and the first one is that if people weren't breastfed for, specific amount of time or the right amount of time, whatever that may or may not be, that those children will grow up to be nail biters. Yeah. Be always have their hands in the mouth. Smokers, like oral fixation.
Oral fixation.
And so anytime I've asked anyone who smokes, I'm like, this is going to sound weird and maybe a little inappropriate, but were you breastfed?
Do they mostly say no?
Yep.
Oh.
So statistically, that's one of the things I want to do still in psychology is that I wanted to retest all of Freud's theories.
That's great. I think
to see how many of them would be true.
It's true. Although I'm so glad I wasn't. Like, my mom's titties were so nasty. I mean, for someone who didn't breastfeed, she had no excuse. She had no excuse. Those were. Like,
I've seen your mom. She had some.
My mom had huge flapjacks.
Yep.
But they were flapjacks. They were so gross. They were terrible. My sister and I both talk about it.
They're just. Like the log
flapjacks and stuff.
I always wonder if mine are going to get like that because my mom's boobs, because she's got big uns too, obviously. But no, hers are like we have the same like little bit of a hang, but yeah, we have like
that's good.
They're fat.
Just like that and stuff. But maybe your mom and you wore good bras, where my mom like hated wearing underwear. Period.
Oh, see, I got the underwire and stuff. Yeah. I heard that, like, not wearing a bra can actually, like, tighten up the muscle. I'm like, can it, though? I don't know, because I've seen some women who don't wear bras and their titties are...
Yeah.
They just seem longer.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know how they feel comfortable, even, quite frankly.
I can't, because I don't like it when it gets all sweaty. I don't like, ugh.
And it's under boob sweat weather right now.
Yeah. I use Gold Bonds.
Oh, okay. I
actually
use deodorant and put it.
I've done deodorant too. I like the Gold Bond spray for some reason.
I'm gonna try that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does. It sounds good.
I use, and then like for my thighs.
Me too. Yeah,
so
I used that yesterday.
Yeah. They don't touch a lot, but it's just enough.
I'm surprised because your legs are perfection, as you know. I've
gained some weight.
No shit, you?
Yeah. I have a butt now.
I thought that was from your workouts, though.
Well, yeah. No, but I've definitely, but a lot of it's muscle. Too.
Yeah, it looks like muscle. No,
I haven't worked out in
you got the banging body now and forever.
Forever
and ever.
I also got, I had to stop eating so much candy because I just had technically 3, but one already had a filling in it. And they had to redo it because I still have a baby, too.
Really?
Yeah, I still have a baby, too. Something to do with being Native American, according to my mother, who knows. But that one had a cavity in it, so I had, but it got a chip in it, so it got, it got deeper, and then I had 2 up here.
Oh,
and I was like, wait, what? I am 43 years old, and then I thought, I literally, underneath my end table, I have a basket filled with fucking candy. Fucking little chocolate, like candy bars, fucking Now and Later's, just all candy.
Oh, those Now and Later's are good.
I love fucking candy. And the dentists, they're both like, you can eat candy, you just have to brush your teeth afterwards. And I'm like, okay, one, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Because now I carry around a little fucking toothbrush and mouthwash. I mean, I've always carried floss with me.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want my fucking teeth to fall.
Yeah. Also, the way our lifestyles are where, you'll go to eat somewhere and then you're going to meet with be on a podcast or go to a meeting. You want to make sure. You want to make sure there's no lettuce in your between your teeth. So that is.
I do have the little flossers. I like those things.
Yeah.
I've been trying not to do them because I will just pull them out at the bar. I'm like, oh, this is probably gross. This is actually disgusting, and I need to excuse it.
I've never seen anyone floss at a bar. I mean, those are easy because they're just picks.
Yeah. And because you see people pick, with a pick. For some reason, that's acceptable. But I bring out a flosser, and then all of a sudden I'm asking. But there's been times with me and my ex, we after eating something, we'd both be at the bar and we'd look at each other and be like, okay,
that's love. But that reminds me, when I was a kid at all the restaurants on your way out, they had a bowl of mints and a bowl of toothpicks.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
And my dad loved a toothpick.
Yeah.
And he always would grab a
I always grabbed the toothpick. And sometimes I liked it because they were the milky mints.
Yes, they were minty toothpicks.
I also like the minty toothpicks. Yeah,
what are the milky?
No. It's just the mints, but they're kind of powdery.
Oh yes, those little squares almost. And maybe some of them had a little gel thing in the middle. Yeah, those were good. Yeah, no one does mints anymore. No one even puts salt and pepper down at the table.
You have to ask for
salt and pepper.
Some people like to do that. Who was it? I want to say it was Thomas Edison. That he would take out prospects or whatever people to work with, and if they added salt and pepper to their meal before tasting it, he wouldn't work with them.
Wow.
It's how do you know? You need to taste it first before you know it needs salt and pepper.
You're programmed to think everything needs
salt and pepper. Even back then. Yeah, I want to say it's Thomas Edison. Someone could look that up and then tweet me if I'm right or not, because I am full of useless facts that may or may not be correct. Or a little...
You're filled with just so many facts, Leah.
Random
you
shit.
really everything.
It's the ADHD. Now I know. I know just enough about almost everything to be able to hold a little bit of a conversation about it.
For sure, David's like that. My husband, he's very hyper, as you know, which is why he smokes so much weed. And stuff. But he knows so much crap, and I'm like, how do you know that? And I said, I don't believe you read that millions of books, did you? Or maybe you did. I don't know. But that is the great thing I think it's a great thing about ADHD.
Oh, yeah. The random, I definitely know I can survive in the wilderness.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also taught a bunch of shit. But there's certain things.
You think you could survive in the wilderness?
Oh, going apocalypse?
A plane wreck. Let's say you had a plane wreck.
Yeah, because I know how to fucking make splints and... Wow. I know first aid. I know how to sew up shit.
That's great.
I know how to change oil. I know how to change brakes in a car. I know about the alternator belt and where it goes. To put one on, I'm not sure if I know how to do that. Because I helped my dad like rebuild. He had a 67 Chevy Chevelle.
Wow, that is an amazing vintage.
That he was rebuilding. I want to say it was like 7th, 8th grade, right before high school.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a sweet fucking car. Yeah, it was fucking dope.
That is cool. Did it work? Everything?
Oh yeah. No, we drove. Oh yeah, it sucked up.
Oh man,
it sucked up so much
gas.
That
Great.
shit. Yeah.
What color was the car?
It was blue.
Woo!
It was blue. It had the bucket, or not bucket seats, but it had like the long seats in the front and shit. I was still too young to drive, but yeah, he let me drive it a little bit.
He did?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, because he's like, I'm gonna fix it up, and this is gonna be your car. He bought me 2 cars.
Yeah.
For when I turned 18, and then that one was supposed to be it. I didn't get either of them.
No?
No, of course not.
Why? What happened? Why?
Well, drugs. Normally, he would sell it because he needed, or like, what was the car? Because I wanted stick. I think it was, oh God, I can't even remember the name. I want to say it was a Laser or something. Is it a Plymouth Laser? It's like a 2-door. It was kind of cool. He's like, oh, I'm still working on it. I'm like,
it's
okay, can I have my fucking car, please? And then all of a sudden he's like, I sold it. I'm like, why am I not surprised about that? Not surprised in this life. Well, I mean, you get at that point in time. Yeah, it wasn't anything where I was like, it's always in the back of my mind that I could not have this thing because he could be going through one of his little episodes. Either on or off medication. Yeah. I was just learning to be like, never to get my hopes up too much unless I actually like have it in my hand.
Right.
And he felt bad because I told him, I'm like, unless it's in my hand, I'm not going to get all excited. I'm not 5 anymore.
Sure.
I'm like, I know who you are. And he felt kind of sad about it at first. And like, because he would sit there and like, he thought, and he's like, okay. He's like, and after a while, he got that.
I'm good with being a scumbag.
He's like, I get it. He's like, no, that's fair, you know.
Well, I'm getting a cigarette.
Oh, yeah. Go right ahead. We're almost done anyway.
Oh, are we? Okay.
Yeah. Even though, did we talk about drugs?
We did not. A little bit. We
talked
about addiction, I think, of daily addiction and stuff. Like,
cigarettes. Yeah, because you tried quitting. I remember you were going through a whole thing.
Oh my God! I promised David
that you would quit
after we got married. I said,
yes. It was after you got married. You said that you were going to quit smoking,
and he believed me.
You did you really put effort in.
I really tried.
Yeah.
I really tried.
And I was very impressed because I remember we would go out and be like, "Can I have a puff of your cigarette?"
Yeah.
Where you were,
that was.
And they're menthol, no, they're like.
I was happy to take anything at that point, but and then David started smoking when I went back on. Then he smoked before. It wasn't
I've seen him smoke. They wanted to have a drink or something.
He usually used to be like a social smoker, and then once he moved in with me, he started like. It felt like how men are so stupid and they think you don't notice shit just because they don't notice anything.
Yeah. But it's like that kid thing too.
It's like, you don't think I noticed that half the pack is missing? Like, I know how, because even though I am addicted to cigarettes, I really do count how many I have a day in my head.
because I don't want to be, there's been days, where I've absolutely smoked an entire pack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially if you're working on something.
Yeah.
Like writing. Writing is a big smoking trigger for me. And,
oh, God.
And you're writing, like, you want to smoke. You don't smoke the whole cigarette, though.
That's the thing. Half of it's burned out. It's just to have it there. Because writing papers.
Right. I've never been, I don't know how people can smoke, like, while they're writing, like those hardcore, like 1940s movies. Who does that? How do you breathe? Like, I can't do that.
My grandmother, with her fucking Pall Malls, this is my dad's mother. This bitch, she would eat while smoking. Have you ever done that? Like,
no.
Eat while smoking? That is one thing I can never.
That's nasty, but I think women did them because I remember David Sedaris in his short stories where he talks about his mother a lot. Mm-hmm. She would, make the family meal, all that stuff, and she would smoke and use her plate as an ashtray. Like,
as she was eating,
like, because she didn't, she had a little food here, and then the rest was like her, she would put the cigarettes out.
That's disgusting.
On the plate, yeah.
That's hilarious.
I think women. My grandmother, on my dad's side, like, she was always a smoker until, like, they moved her out to California, and I know every guest that walked through that. She moved in with my Uncle Mario, and every guest that came through that door, she's like, got a cigarette? Got a cigarette? Got a cigarette? And when I was a little kid, like, when you make those ceramic planters when you're a little kid, with, like, a dog or a kitty or something. I made one, and I gave it to her because I knew she was coming over to visit, and she came with, like, her boyfriend du jour, and she's smoking, and I see that she thinks it's an ashtray that I gave her, and she said, "Look at my granddaughter, she made me this beautiful ashtray." And I just didn't say anything, but then again, she used to use the blender as, like, to hold her wig du jour, also the wig of the day.
That's amazing.
She had a closet of wigs, and the one she wore that morning, because it was perched on top of the blender.
Because that's the one. So like it's right there.
Yeah. So that's it
is. It's definitely maybe just from that generation. She always had an ashtray. Her and my uncle. It was actually my dad and my stepmom. Well, no, not my stepmom so much. She would, like, fill up the fucking ashtrays till they're, like, overflowing.
Oh, my God.
But my uncle and my grandmother and my dad always made sure that the ashtrays were always clean.
That's good.
Always, not a lot of cigarette butts or ashes or anything. My uncle's like, this is disgusting. Where me, I'm just like,
you let, when you smoke
like, I never, I would empty it out, but I never wash it. I'm like, it's a fucking ashtray. Piece of shit.
It is. I don't wash my ashtrays often. When I get the cleaning people coming here, like, just once a month for a deep clean, like, that's when all the ashtrays get cleaned, like, for real.
Oh, yeah, they, like, wipe them out and shit,
They, like, scrape off all the, black crap that's, like, already crusted on there and all that. And then sometimes it pisses me off because there's still a little water in the thing. I don't know, and then, like,
and then your cigarette's wet. I've had that happen before. Because my mom let me smoke in my bedroom. Because, like, she grew up with smokers, like, her parents smoked and stuff. She just didn't smoke. So it was just, she didn't want me to smoke, but at the same time, she's like, well, everyone else smokes.
That's what my parents did. They let me smoke at home.
Yeah, and so they got me this smoke-eating ashtray where it had, like, the fan that would suck the smoke down into itself.
Oh, God. Oh, I remember those.
Yes, they still
have
them.
That's fancy.
Back then? Yeah, it was like
that's
a 20
a big purchase.
Yeah, it was like a $20 thing. And what it would do, especially because back then we didn't have the fire-safe cigarettes, it would just eat up the entire fucking cigarette. Because of the fan, it was basically smoking the cigarette for you. So I accidentally dropped it.
It is. I mean, the thing with cigarettes is, like, back in, 10 years older than you, when I went to high school, we actually had, like, a smoker's area.
Yeah.
There. Like, it's crazy now because now you can't even buy them unless you're 21. Like, when I first...
you can't buy cigarettes unless you're 21 now?
No, you know how I found out? So,
I didn't even know that!
How I found out was I was packing for a trip that I was taking with you to Vegas.
Okay, yeah.
And Dylan was going to, crash here. I wasn't married yet, but we're still very... No, we were in... He was going to crash here and watch my place while I'm gone, so he came early and came the night that I was leaving. Yeah. And I realized I ran out of cigarettes, and I didn't feel like going out. So it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, this all-night place. And I said, I've always wanted to have a child just to send them out for cigarettes, quite frankly. Because that's what I used to do for my grandma all the time.
I used to do it with a note.
With a note or nothing.
Beer. I would get beer and fucking cigarettes for my dad.
And they gave you exact money and everything. So I said, wow, now I can do it. So, and Dylan was 18. Yeah, he was 18 at the time. And I gave him like $20 and I said, give me 2 packs of cigs. And he came back and he said, empty, and told that they asked to see his ID.
And you're like, but you're 18.
Yeah, and I was like, that's what I thought. No, 21.
Wow.
Like,
drinking. Good.
It is good.
No, it is a good thing.
You're going to end up like us.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, look, smoker.
There's so much fun, but you don't want to.
Yeah, I cough all the time. I have a great joke about smoking.
What's that?
I've told a lot of jokes on I try not to do my set jokes, but how I need to quit because you always smell like shit. It leaves a horrible taste in your mouth, but I love it just like anal.
Yes.
So I don't want to give it up.
It's true.
It does, yeah.
It is true. You're right. It is a lot like anal.
It's very much like anal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I guess that's why we all. That's another reason why we enjoy it. But yeah, that's an accurate comparison.
When I was telling my shrink, I'm like, there's two types of people in the world. There's smokers and there's non-smokers.
Yes.
I really do feel. And then there's fucking psychopaths who smoke socially. And I'm only calling you psychopaths because I'm jealous.
Yes.
Because if I could just smoke when I drank, oh my god, that would be amazing. But no,
there are those people though that they're all of a sudden like, oh, can I bum one? And you're like, oh, you smoke? And you're like, oh, I'm getting a buzz on.
Yeah.
A cigarette.
Fuck you.
Stuff. Like, I live with this guy who suddenly decided he didn't want to smoke anymore. I was like, okay, fine. And he said, well, you can't smoke anymore. Meaning not in the house, because it's going to,
trigger
I'm
him
going
or
to trigger.
Whatever, yeah.
And I was trying not to be an asshole, and the first thing that went through my mind was like, how am I going to take a shit tomorrow morning? Because it's part of my poop ritual.
Yes!
That was the first thing that went through my mind. I panicked just about pooping. Like, how am I going to poop? Like, I don't know if I can without a cigarette.
My routine now, especially since I can't get up and smoke one right away, which is good. I like the fact that I wake up, like I'll get dressed, like brush my teeth, like rinse my face off or whatever, feed Lucy, and then I'll walk her, and then I'll have my cigarette.
Sure.
And then I'll come upstairs, and then I'll poop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ritual.
Yeah, so that's my.
It's
because the walk helps too, and I'll have like a glass of water. Yeah.
I did take your
advice about drinking a glass of water.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I had a little issue with pooping, and Leah gave me some great advice. And she said, get up and like down a glass of water.
First thing you get up in the morning, drink a glass of water. It gets everything working, and it actually works better than coffee.
It does.
Within like the first 10 minutes, you're like, oh, I got it. Shit.
Oh yeah, immediately before I have my coffee, I'm there. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and it also it's good for you to drink. Get up, drink a glass of water right away. Even if you hate it, like I've learned to do it. Even before I drink my orange juice, I'm like,
and even if you don't smoke, I think I think when you wake up, you're so dehydrated from sleeping and with your
8 hours you haven't had any fluids and stuff like that. Yeah, I have to have I have a water reminder.
Really?
On my watch and on my phone that tells me like once an hour, hey bitch, drink water. I mean, it doesn't say that. I wonder if I can get it to say that.
It should. Water is so important.
Yeah, we're 70% fucking water. People always forget about that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've noticed too, like since I have been drinking more water, it does help with your skin.
Oh God, your skin looks beautiful. I said that to you last time I saw you.
It's because I've been getting laser procedures. I've been getting my face lasered with heat lasers.
It's working.
Yeah,
it's working. No, I'm looking. You're talking about your forehead. Like your forehead looks beautiful.
Yeah. I just got it done on Monday, so there's still they went kind of deep with this one, so there's still a little. I got a little bumpies on here because it kind of looks like a checkerboard or something because it's a thermal fractional laser.
Okay.
So I don't know. They're burning off my skin.
Does it hurt?
No, it's like spicy.
Okay, that's fine.
It feels spicy. It's like any other laser procedure. I'll put numbing stuff on before I go. Mm-hmm. For certain ones, you don't need it, but I've had a bunch of fractional stuff. But yeah, it does seem to. It's great. Skin Laundry, I love them. Angela, tell her I sent you. Midtown East. Well, thank you.
Thank you. I've been wanting to be on this wonderful show for like a year now.
I know, and we kept rescheduling. This is probably like the 8th reschedule, and every time it's because it was raining, and it did rain a little bit, but now it's sunny.
It's a beautiful day.
So it's perfect. Yes. Where can people find you online?
Anyone can follow me on social media at Miss Lainie. It's MISSLAINIE on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook. It's Lainie Speiser. But Facebook, who gives a shit?
Yeah, we're always in Facebook now anyway.
We are. So just follow me on Insta and Twitter and
check out your books.
Check out my books. My books I have 6 books on Amazon. So you just punch in my name, Lainie Speiser, LAINIE. Speiser, and all my books are about how to make your sex life better, basically. And even if you don't actually do the instructions, you can like pretend that you're gonna do it and get horny and have the orgasm just from that. You know, most of my books do have photos in them.
Yes.
So you can enjoy the lovely photos of penthouse pets reenacting a role play or threesomes, and Sunny Leone is actually featured in my blowjob book.
Nice.
And you know, check them out and have some fun.
They are great books. And Confessions of the 100's Hottest Porn Stars.
Yes, which
I'm in on page 188,
it's
I think.
A wonderful chapter called The Three Mics.
I do have a thing. Mics have a thing for me. They like me. If you're a bearded dude named Mike, kryptonite, automatically stay the fuck away from me. Okay?
Yes, I love that interview. That was great because I actually had a theme. You know, I was trying to theme each one.
Yeah.
And it was like the three mics. That's great. You
it
know,
was perfect.
And, so you can read about each mic.
All of the mics that I dated at the exact same time.
And how they each satisfied her.
Yes. Obviously, you can find me, the Aaliyah Janine, on Twitter, Aaliyah.Janine on Instagram, Aaliyah Janine on Facebook. Find this wonderful podcast, How to Do Drugs Pod, on Twitter and Instagram. Obviously, subscribe. And please rate on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon, pretty much everywhere you find podcasts, YouTube as well. All right, thank you so much. Bye.